Hello, good morning, everybody. I see we already have some early viewers, so yay! Some people were on the ball this morning. I was trying to be. But let me share my link here. Here we go. Always got a few little things that I cannot do until we are officially up and running. And get my comments open over here. How are you guys doing today? I'm having a good morning so far. I did shoot a tutorial this morning, right at the crack of dawn, it seemed like. But it was fun. It is using the new Revealed palette. I had put out a blog yesterday showing one look that I did with it, and a lot of you were interested in seeing some more on it. It was funny because this palette had come out. I think I learned about this palette probably the day I made my Rediscovered Palettes video public, and I was talking about how much I love the regular Revealed palette, the first one, because it's a great palette. And I hadn't really thought about it that much, and then that day of all days, completely out of the blue, it's like, oh, Coastal Scents is coming out with yet another Revealed palette. So anyways, good morning, Stephanie, Amanda. Exo Glam Beauty is here for the second week in a row. That's awesome. DIY Beauty Tips, hello. Thank you so much. Makeup for your soul. Yes, we have a little standby period while I get this turned on. And so it says, like, broadcast will be starting soon or something like that. So, yep, that's what you should see, and then it goes live. Awesome. Gisela, what a pretty name. Please talk about what factors went into buying this particular house. I would say one of the biggest ones was space. We wanted more space. It's funny how a 3-bedroom house really gets, like, the space in a 3-bedroom house gets taken up very quickly when one of those bedrooms is your, like, home office space. And so we just figured that, you know, sooner or later we would want to move, and we didn't necessarily see it as like an essential thing right at this time. Like, we could have made it work with a baby in the other house and whatnot, but we just kind of started looking around, and once you start looking, it's a dangerous thing because you'll probably start deciding on something or start getting your heart set on something. But the space in this house was just fantastic. I mean, it's got, our other house did not have the basement space, the bedroom space. Just absolutely love the property and love the location of it in this town. In case I hadn't, or in case you hadn't heard, we only moved like 5 minutes away from our other house, but this location is so great because it's near a really nice park, and it's got like a playground over there and the community center, and it's got a pool. I mean, it's just, there's so many advantages to this house. So we really just kind of became attached to it early on and thought, well, the timing is right now, you know, and also just that it had been on the market for a while, the price had come down several times, so that was working for us too. So just it was almost like, you know, when the pieces of a puzzle just kind of fall into place for you. It was that kind of a situation, and we just felt like, you know, let's go for it. Let's do this now. And it will probably, even though moving seems hard when you're pregnant, it's probably even harder with the little one already there, and it would just be nice to, you know, go ahead and get settled in. So, good morning, Lisa, Brittany. Yeah. Makeup for your soul, and now it's working. Oh, Melissa Jones is home sick, so she gets to watch live. So, you know, there's advantages. You also get to watch that World Cup game, right? That starts at 11 o'clock Central Time. Germany and USA, but I know we have people from lots of other countries who are probably interested in lots of other World Cup matches. Baby Justin, much love from Nashville. Oh, I love Nashville. Fabulous. Do you mind shouting out to my daughter for her birthday? She's 5. Oh, Jacob's mom. It says Jacob's mom still is the name. And happy birthday to her little 5-year-old daughter. Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you! Oh. Oh, Michaela, pancakes sounds so good right now. You want to flip a couple of those over my way? Thank you, Miss Brenda. Yeah, I'm enjoying exploring my area here, and I have yet another spot that today's Beauty Broadcast Express review will be happening in. So I just feel like I'm exploring this room day by day, you know. Good morning, Kristen, Mariah, Melissa Jones, Emily from Denmark, and Debbie's here. Dang, the whole gang's around. And by the way, I have been just, this last week I didn't do the tweet chat thing, just to keep it less complicated for myself. And it really, I mean, the comments seem to be coming in pretty good here on the regular thing, so that's good. Oh, thank you, Marianne. Yay! Good evening from London. Good evening. Are you going to do a house tour once you get everything ready? I've been considering it. The question is, when do you figure out that everything's ready? Is anybody else like me and they could continue to see like little tweaks and things that they would do for a long, long time after being in a new house? So there's that, and then I don't know. Our house, I don't know if house tours are kind of, I don't know. Is it overshare? Is it overshare to share, like, here's my bathroom, here's my, I guess I have done a bathroom tour before. Did you see my Carrie Underwood video? Loved your room tour. Stephanie, I don't think I have. I think I would remember. Good morning from Puerto Rico. How do you keep on top of your channels? Well, sometimes I don't. No, it was very difficult this past couple of weeks. It troubled me a lot because I feel like a lot of the time I am kind of on top of the channels, but when I went for like 10 days with no internet, it was, I mean, I knew stuff. I wanted to be putting out my Express videos. I hadn't missed any of those, and I really wanted to get those up and do other stuff, and the vlog channel, Beauty Broadcast Live, and all that. And so you run into some circumstances where there's just nothing you can do but wait and get your makeup room together. But in normal situations, which I feel like I'm kind of falling back into, I use a little old school planner, and every day I kind of have mapped out, like at the start of a week, I try to roughly map out what I want to do. Stuff changes a lot, but it helps me get a vision going for, you know, these are the kinds of videos I'm going to do this week. This on this day, and then I can, you know, shoot 2 on this day because this is not an eye product that I'm reviewing, and I, you know, like I try to shoot demos, and the Express channel has made it more complicated with shooting because I'm incorporating a lot of demos and tutorials into those videos, so it's got to kind of mesh with what's going on my other channel as well in terms of if I want to shoot multiple things in a day. Which I usually do, but that would be one thing I would recommend, is if you've got a channel and you've got a good chunk of free time, shoot several things at once, you know, if you can. You know, maybe one video is a tutorial, one video is a haul, one's a review, and if you can take advantage of the free time that you have, you know, editing is always more flexible. You can always, and so is uploading, really. I mean, you can do those things in a more passive way or a more on and off way, but when it comes to shooting, you kind of just got to be able to sit down there and have your undivided attention, you know, to the camera for a while. But if you can multitask and get a few videos done at once, that helps. Yay! Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys like this room. It's hilarious though how blunt and frankly without tact some people can be, because I saw like a couple comments on my room tour video, and I mean, thank you so much to everybody who was so super nice. And this honestly didn't get to me so much as it like made me laugh that someone would actually say it. But they said, your face looked bad in your old room. This paint color makes you look a lot better. I'm like, really? Oh, dang, I spent several years in there. Thanks for letting me know. Ironically, here's me in the old room at that moment. But no, I'm so glad that this new room has been so wonderfully well received by you guys, because this is your thing to look at, right? It's my thing to be in, and you know, it's my room. But as far as anybody who's taken time to watch my videos, like this is your background, y'all. So I'm glad you like it. I think it is just, it's pink still, but it's slightly more, can I even say it's more neutral, or it's just a little, you know, obviously it's a little less bold. There's a little less contrast happening, you know, with the wall color and myself. And so I think it's working out well so far, and I've just, the space has been a big thing too, though, just being able to shoot in different areas and not feel so confined to just one spot. Hi, Melissa Price. What camera do you use? Well, for this, I'm just using a webcam, so it's not the greatest quality, and I just pulled my laptop in this time. But normally, I use a Canon Vixia HF S200. It's got a flip-around screen. I've had it for a few years now. I have no complaints about it. It's worked just wonderfully well, has room for 2 memory cards inside, just does everything I need a camera to do, you know, from my end. And it'll take still pictures if you need something like that too. So it's been a great, great camera. If you look that up now, like when I got it, it was more new, but now a few years out, probably get an even better price on it than I did. The Too Faced Country palette. Yes, the country and the rock and roll. That was something I wanted to talk to you guys about today. These are the new Too Faced palettes. Yeah, they included some shade names in the country palette that are like some of my favorite country songs. Seriously. Cowboy Take Me Away, Famous in a Small Town, All American Girl. Here's the thing. My gut reaction on this is total initial reaction, you guys, but I want to love this palette, but I'm a little conflicted because I don't know that it's that, like, I'm not sure how amazing it is yet. I've only done a couple looks with it so far, but it's a lot of shimmer, and I don't know. The jury's still out. Let's just put it that way. I may run into some unique, different ways to use it, but here's the rock and roll palette. I have not used this one yet. More smoky, but a lot of shimmer in these, like 1 matte shade in each. So that's more to come, to be continued. Sorry, I'm missing some comments because I'm going off on tangents. Dang, okay. Yeah, the no internet time, great time to pre-record videos. The only problem was I guess, good thing and bad thing was that the no internet time was really also a no room time at that point. I didn't have all this assembled. I didn't have everything set up, so it kind of fell into place for taking the time I needed to get everything set up, kind of, sort of. Oop. Sorry, I got to refresh something. I have not seen the Milani gel powder eyeshadows yet. Bring back M's World. Well, M's World was something that happened on my old channel, and if you like those kind of videos, I do have some like kind of everyday type vlogs here on this channel. I know I haven't done them in a while, but they once the vlog channel came about, M's World kind of moved on here. So yes, grocery hauls, that would be fun. Yes, more vlogging. But thank you so much for requesting. I'm sitting on my donut. If I shift around oddly this morning, I'm sitting on my inflatable donut. My latest pregnancy vlog will explain. I fell on my tailbone not too long ago, and it's just kind of sore. Are you having the... No, I'm not having the first grandchild on my mom's side. My brother also has a adorable little girl named Ashley. Oh, Desio Beauty is going to IMATS London this weekend. Should I bring a little wheeled suitcase for all the stuff? Well, I mean, what I've found is that a lot of the brands seem to give you like a pretty big bag, you know? And but a suitcase might not be a bad idea. But it can tend to be pretty crowded. I've never been to London, so I don't know how crowded and crazy that one gets. But if you've got a lot of crowds, it might be kind of a pain to wheel around the suitcase. But if you get a big bag, that tends to accommodate, like, I liked having a big bag and then put all my little bags in it. And things do tend to be discounted. One thing that I noticed big time at the IMATS LA was that you had to have the patience to actually stand in some of those lines to get the really good deals. But no, I still wound up with some cool things and stuff. But I think it'll be fun for you. The new Lorac Pro, oh gosh, several questions about Lorac Pro 2. Okay, yeah, I can talk about that. I've used it 2 or 3 times already. So as opposed to black, it's kind of a gray packaging here. Same half matte, half shimmer type of layout. Sorry for like remnants of old nail polish that are still on my nails. I don't know where my nail polish remover is. But there's your mattes on top and your shimmers on the bottom. So more color variety, it seems like, a little bit. Different kinds of colors here and there. But still some, like, you still got a matte black in this one. I would say so far so good. Quality-wise, I mean, I'm very, very much enjoying it. Not noticing a drop-off as far as that goes. But it's just kind of determining, like, okay, what different color combinations can I do? What looks good with this palette? You know, you got to kind of use it a few times and try some different looks. I hate trying to come up with a verdict on a palette, like, after 2 looks or something, when there's probably a lot that could be done with this. But initially, some of the shades that I have used and enjoyed, I used the navy shade yesterday and found that that was a lot of fun to layer on top of the silver because you get kind of a lighter blue look when you combine the two. And then the navy is just really rich, and navy can be a really hard shade to blend out on your eyes and make it look natural and make it look blended back into your skin. But you've got some great, easy shades to help you do that here. I love Nectar. This peach, great for blending also. The plum, yeah, those two side by side, love those. The first things that I used together were probably those 2 shades, a little bit of the black and some of this down here called Mocha. But I would say so far I am enjoying it, and I'm really glad that it doesn't seem like a step down in quality from the first one. It's just different configuration of shades, and I know I'll probably be asked the question, like, which is better, the first or the second? And so I guess I'm trying to figure that out, but I really love the first one, so it's going to be tough, right? When will your makeup collection video be up on your beauty channel? There will be a tutorial, will be my next video, and then maybe one of the following ones will be the collection. Because that kind of thing takes a little while to shoot, so I haven't quite gotten it all done. Good morning from Kentucky, says Michelle. Good morning. Yeah, palette sequels. It's like movie sequels. Revealed 2, I am really, really enjoying. It does not shock me a bit that I'm liking this, though, because look what's in it. It's berries and pinks and those kinds of shades. That's what I'm wearing today. It's rose golds, you know. I love the mattes in here. There are a lot of great matte shades. Like these really dark berry colors I'm in love with. Matte black, anyone? Couple of matte, like kind of neutrally, you know, just soft beige, peachy kind of tones. Really enjoying it so far. I mean, 20 shades, get out of town. It's great. I mean, I can tell you right now, I'm loving that for sure. There is some overlap. I mean, I feel like I run into a couple shades here and there in this palette that I'm like, oh, well, those are pretty similar to one another, but it's not a big deal, you know, because it's so affordable, and the shades are, you know, it's variety, it's pigmentation, it's the kinds of shades I like. If you don't like berry and pink, then may not be your bag of tricks. You might just stick with like the original revealed palette or whatever. Plus, this was really cute. When I got this in the mail, I got this, and then Coastal Scents is really good about giving little samples, so they gave a revealed sampler. They give you this neat little like quad. That's a decent quad right there. And a $5 gift certificate to go buy the first one if you didn't buy it, but I just thought that was neat. And then they throw in like these fun stickers. Yeah, that has a place in here somewhere. How many videos do you try to shoot a day? I don't always have to shoot more than one. A lot of days I feel like I end up shooting maybe well, it's hard to say what I do a lot of days. No 2 days are exactly the same, but it's what I do sometimes like to be able to do is with the express video, excuse me, with the express videos, I really like to double up on those. They're quicker to edit, and so if I can knock a couple of those out in a day, and they're products that like work to be featured kind of at the same time, you'll notice at least at one point in the week, I'll have 2 videos where I show up in like the same outfit. Like I think that was Monday and Tuesday this week. So I try to do that. Today I just shot the one tutorial and of course doing this. But it's nice if I'm doing like a pregnancy vlog or something like that. That doesn't really pertain to makeup, so it doesn't really matter what the look is. I can sit down and, you know, chit chat at any time. So yes. Oh, I am not. Yeah, I'm not on the tweet chat. But I did just check my tweets, and Serena Henderson asked about it. I'm just using for less complicatedness and less clicking around. I'm seeing how it works to just use the YouTube. Oop. Where is your shirt from? My shirt is I got it from Ross. Look at this. Pregnancy shirt. Here's the bump. But isn't this cute? It's Mama Elephant and Baby Elephant. Sometimes I think this kind of stuff is a little cheesy, but I really like this shirt. It fits me well, and it's just, you know, good with leggings and stuff. But I thought that was adorable. It's got the little sparkles on it. Doesn't that mean I love you? Oh, it's so cute. I love the colors on it. If you're shopping for, you're needing cheap maternity gear, I tell you, like longer shirts like this. I mean, so many people say you don't need to buy much maternity stuff or whatever. You don't, and I find that with my clothes, a lot of the tops that I might normally wear now do not come down long enough. So I do need some longer tops and stuff that works with leggings, and there's a lot of that there at Ross for like, this shirt was $6. I mean, I love getting cheap clothes. I make no bones about it. And I really don't care about you know, brand names that much with clothes. Call me crazy. I'm not really a shoe person either, or that much of a purse person. I mean, I like cute purses, I like cute shoes, but makeup's my jam. Love you too, Jessica, Emily. Good afternoon, Roberta from Surrey, England. Wow, we are all over the place today. Watching, Katie Mama is watching this with 2 of her 6 kids. Dang! Thank you for joining. Thanks, kids, for watching. Gosh, you've got like a little like basketball team with 1 sub. Oh. Oh, I Heart Fairies is enjoying Tyler's reviews. New room looks good. Wants maybe some bigger things back here that don't look as cluttered. Yeah. No, I just kind of we're just at a starting point here. This is probably not going to look the same all the time. I love my gold makeup pieces and the brushes, so that may stay for a while, but this is a totally flexible area here. And that's what I like about it. You know, I kind of had to start somewhere, look at the things that I had, and you know, I didn't go out and buy a lot of new stuff with the exception of just, you know, a couple things here and there, but I just really like the accents of, you know, this is a makeup room, and I think it makes sense to accent it with makeup, you know. I wouldn't go decorating my living room with makeup brushes and gold lipsticks, but here I can, so I am, you know, so I'm enjoying the makeup-y decor. Currently watching from class, haha. All right. Well then. Are you taking notes on what I'm saying then? Oh, good morning, Laura. Alberta, Canada. Erica, advice for someone who wants to start a beauty YouTube channel. I get this question a lot on here, so I hope I don't sound like a broken record to people who have heard me answer this before, but and just last week I kind of remember saying, like, only do it if you really, really want to be doing it. Don't kind of, pardon my French, but half-ass it, you know, and like, you know, I'm kind of interested in starting a YouTube channel. I guess I'll go ahead and do it. You know, like, go into it full force, because there are some things I think you can learn from people who've been in the game for a while, and that's that, you know, it's not always the most positive place. I mean, there's a lot of positivity, but at the same time, you know, there's some people who kind of knock you down here and there, or try to anyway, and the more confident you are in what you're doing, the more happy you are, the more absolutely, totally invested and into your thing that you are, the less that kind of stuff is going to get in your head. And it still can. It can still annoy you. It can still bring you down. You can still have some down days. But I'm just saying that the more into your craft you are, and I think this goes for a lot of things in life, the less other people's opinions on what you're doing matters to you. It's just like making big life decisions, you know. The more confident you feel in what you're doing and the direction you're going, the less you need somebody else's, you know, pats on the back. Don't do it relying on someone else to make you feel good. Do it because doing this makes you feel good. You know what I mean? So that would be my advice. If you feel like, yes, this is totally me, this is the way I want to spend my spare time, this is, you know, exciting and fun to me, I love makeup or I love beauty, whatever it may be, and talking about it, then I say go for it. Because what do you got to lose? You know, you can stop at any time, nobody's forcing you to do it, but just keep in mind that I think you will have the best experience if it's really something you're super, super into. Yeah, the end. I've tried to keep my tangents a little shorter. How long have I been on YouTube for? I started my account in November of 2007. So, yep, it's been, once I started making videos, I really didn't stop for very long. I think I had maybe a little time, like soon after I started, where I was like, I don't know if anybody's paying attention. And I think I took maybe a month away from it, and this was very early on. And then I realized, oh, people are watching. I think I'll keep going. And then I never stopped. Have you had any serious nausea? What did you do that helped? Because I've had bad morning sickness only 9 weeks. Okay, well, first trimester I know is a typical time to have that feeling. I didn't deal with that with my pregnancy, and I know it's very typical, very common for people to have that. And I know my mom had it big time with all 3 of us kids, and I mean, all I can think is that taking one day at a time is about all you can do, 1 hour at a time, because it's so hard. I know it's hard when you feel sick, and it's like attempting to take your mind off of that for a little while and do something else is darn near impossible. So, I mean, I feel for you, because I know that that's not easy, but I don't, I really didn't go through a lot of times where I felt majorly sick in a debilitating way. Like, I'd have a little queasiness here and there, and I kind of started to understand how staying fed as much as I could, and the last thing you want to do when you feel sick is eat something, but once my stomach started to get empty, there were a couple of times where I just felt like death warmed over. It happened in the evenings. And then I just realized you've got to keep something in your stomach. And so make sure you are trying to stay fed as best you can, because I think that does help in a way. But low-level queasiness was the worst I had. Hi from the Netherlands. Oh, thank you. Veronique? Veronique? That's a pretty name. Pretty profile picture, too. What's been your favorite part of your pregnancy? Favorite part? Ugh. There's so many things I really like about it, actually. I think I am one who I really enjoy the progression. Like, I just like how every week, and I have the little apps that tell me you're 28 weeks today, and here's what size your baby is, and here's what they've now developed the ability to do, and here's, you know, like, I love that. So I guess I love the slow transformation almost, you know, the thought of creating something, you know, is incredible, but it's like I just get into what's new every week and what's changing, and that's just been really cool for the big picture. I think that's my favorite thing, but also I think I don't know, Tyler, it's brought out a lot of sweetness in Tyler too. I mean, he's a sweet guy. He's always been. I mean, just my best friend and stuff, but I feel like it's brought out an even more protective, maybe is the word, or just a new level of caring, I guess. So I think that's really sweet. That's been fun to see. So just to witness that in him and his interest level in what's going on with me, I just think he's going to be a great dad. He's naturally very, very at ease, very comfortable around kids. He had a lot of several younger siblings, and I think that played into it a lot too, being a big brother to somebody. And then I think that kind of comes back to you when you become you know, a parent. I was the youngest child, so I didn't have those experiences really of being like, you know, in a part of a, Tyler's part of a pretty big family. I mean, there were 5 kids, so that's kind of a different feeling, and I think he learned a lot through that. Oh, wow. U10 girl. Haven't watched BB Live in like 7 months. Just graduated from massage therapy school in Austin, Texas yesterday. Hi. Well, thank you, Kim. I'm glad you're here today, and congrats on your graduation. Now come massage me. I could use a massage. It's all good. Thank you. Where's Tyler? He's at work right now, or he's probably in court right now. I can tell by what he wears whether it's a day he has to be in court or not. And today was a suit, so it's a court day. What neutral palette would you suggest for me who doesn't have much eyeshadow? Naked palette, says Andrea. If you're thinking of investing in something that is a little higher cost, like one of those, I tend to steer people toward Lorac Pro, the first one, just because I think it's so basic, and especially if you say you don't have a lot of different eyeshadows, I think that would give you a great place to start. Even more variety than the Naked palette. And the Naked palette's great, you know? And I've seen people using their Naked palettes, people I've gifted, like in my personal life, who I've gifted made Naked palettes to, like they're using them to death and love them. And so I think you would still like a Naked palette. But for the most variety, since the Lorac Pro had come out, I mean, that's just been great. Ms. Jen's wanting these kinds of drawers. Oh, they've been so great, Ms. Jen, for storing makeup. I had heard some people in the room tour saying, like, it seems like every beauty person's got those drawers. And I was just thinking how few things there are out there that really are this functional for makeup storage. I mean, I was in a mode for years where I kept adding to my plastic drawer setup, and those weren't holding near as much stuff as like one of these drawers holds. These go back further. They're so nice and uniform, you know, they just lend themselves to makeup storage so well. So, you know, and I've seen different little unique pieces here and there in different shops, you know, and you see one cool, like you go to Hobby Lobby and they've got this one, you know, stand of drawers that looks kind of cool, and I'm thinking that would be great makeup storage. Only they only have one here in stock, and I'd need about 5. So this is definitely a good go-to, I think. And they could be painted, you know, changed or dolled up, but I like the white back here. Do you have a favorite lightweight foundation? Favorite lightweight foundation anymore has probably been, well, I got a couple that I like. Neutrogena Healthy Skin is a really good one. I know a lot of people enjoy this foundation, and for good reason. It looks really fresh on the skin. I think drier skin even, you know, could do well with this kind of a foundation too. It's got that SPF 20 in it, which is really good. So I like this. I think it gives a natural finish. It's light, like you asked. But if staying power is like even more of a concern on a particular day and I want to go lightweight, the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light is good because this packs in a little more coverage, I think, than the Neutrogena, and just a little more amped up staying power. And of course that can depend on your conditions you're out in or how oily your skin tends to be. You know, are you going out and subjecting yourself to like all out fun in the sun and you know, these things wear differently. But generally speaking, I feel like the Double Wear Light has really good staying power, and you know, just obviously, as the name would imply, it's not as full coverage as the regular Double Wear, but it's still pretty good, you know. Kristen says, I can't stay the whole time today. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. Hugs to you all. Well, thank you for stopping in, Kristen. We love you. Did you keep all those drawers that used to keep your makeup? Seen a couple from your room tour. Actually, Stacy Catherine, the plastic drawers that were in my closet before, but I have kept the other drawers. My mom, I think, would just kick my butt if I got rid of storage items. She says you can always use storage items somewhere. So we're holding on to them, and I have like popped them into different like cabinets. Like we got a nice little cabinet up here in this upstairs bathroom, and so sticking one of those in there for when guests come and they can stick some stuff in. And I do think, and Tyler's going to probably use maybe some of the ones that don't have the little glitz and beading that I added. Might use some like down in the garage for tools and different things. So I think we're going to try to just spread them out throughout the house and use them in different ways, and I think they will get used. So I'm sorry if I've missed some comments, by the way. Oh gosh, you guys are so nice. I love you guys. Wait, what? Melissa Jones, St. Louis is getting an IKEA. Whoa! They waited for me to drive to Chicago first to get all this stuff. Dang it. No, that's awesome. That's great. I'll probably find some more IKEA things over time. How do you ask a question? Danielle S., just like you did. I can see your question. Oh my gosh. Okay. Do you prefer shopping at Ulta or Sephora? Country Girl Makeup asks. Well, I don't have easy access to a Sephora around here. My nearest Sephora, which is not really a full Sephora, but it's a Sephora within a JCPenney, is in the Metro East St. Louis area, and that's about an hour and a half from me. And then there's a full Sephora probably about 2 hours away, so more like past into the city, in the Galleria, if you guys are familiar with that. So I guess I feel like I've become more attached to shopping at Ulta simply because now I have an Ulta like less than 10 minutes away from me now. So, and I just do love the combination in Ulta of drugstore and high-end stuff. It's not every high-end line. It's not as many as a full Sephora might have, but still, it's amazing to me. I've never lived in a town that had that. All my life, I've become very accustomed to buying my makeup at a Walmart, a Walgreens, or like a CVS or an Osco drug, and so just having an Ulta is amazing. I think I'm a little more attached to Ulta than Sephora, and I just can't go to Sephora that much. But I can browse the website from home. Where is Cupcake today? She has been all around. She might be in the basement right now because Tyler was down there shredding some stuff, and she goes down there every so often. Sleeps under the futon. We got the futon down there. Yes, my sister does have a YouTube channel. Search Art Food Kitty here on YouTube. She's got some great, absolutely mesmerizing painting videos that you might really enjoy. Even if you don't paint, to watch her videos is so fun and so satisfying because you see a lot of kind of start to finish. She speeds it up, does kind of like speed painting. She's done some great videos too. If you are interested in watercolor and art and improving your skills, she's done some great things on mistakes people make and how to correct them. She's awesome. My sister is the total bomb, and during the time when I was kind of offline, by the way, her sweet kitty Bunny, passed away, and she's had that cat for so long, and when she had called me and gave me the news, I just started bawling. I mean, animals are like family to us, and it just, the decision she and Jeff, her husband, had to make that day, I know was painful for her, but I think she knew that Bun was in a lot of pain, and she gave her such a great life, and she's such a sweet cat. But my sister's been, I know it's been so tough on them. So I've been thinking about them a lot, and I love you, pup. If you're out there, I'm not sure if she's watching live right now, but if you catch this. Yesterday was my birthday, and today and tomorrow I'm going to New York. What makeup stores would you recommend? Rainbow Zebra says. Well, it's fun to go to the Sephora in Times Square. There's just something about that atmosphere that's a lot of fun. But what I would love to do if I could go back to New York would be to go to the Bite Beauty lab that they have, where you can create your own Bite Beauty lipstick. That would be like tops on my list if I were to go back to New York, which I plan to eventually, of course, because I didn't get to the New York IMATs this year. But what else is there? I have to ask my friend David, who's in New York, and he knows about all the little like underground interesting makeup places that people might not know about. But I'd love to go to that Bite Beauty lab. I'd love to see the e.l.f. store that they have, too. AMJ, you may have missed some vlogs. You can see them in some of those. Thank you for watching for 5 years, though. St. Louis area meetup. Oh, that would be fun. It's been kind of a tough little busy time here for me right now, but you know, in these next few months before the baby comes, I think that would be a great thing to do. Has Tyler reset up his brewery? Yeah, he's pretty much, well, he's got stuff in place down in, we've got a couple of garages here, and he's got kind of commandeered an area of one for his brewing equipment, and he's pretty well got it all together there. He had a lot of shelving that he moved over from the old garage, and hasn't yet brewed anything, but I think he's planning to soon. It's all about temperature. If you guys are into the home brewing, it's like you've got to have, if it's really, really hot, you've got to kind of have some temperature regulation. So. Oh. Sorry. Sherry says, I've never been to an actual Sephora store or counter. I've done all my Sephora shopping on their website. I do now have an Ulta an hour or so away. Been there several times. Ulta is my happy place, says Beauty Lover. Yeah, I love that Ulta has kind of expanded, and they've got It Cosmetics now. They've got Mally now. I think that's great. Winged liner, product and technique. Caroline, check out my latest Beauty Broadcast Express review. It's on a liquid liner that makes, I think, makes the wing really easy. And I kind of do a little like outer triangle. I go like straight out from my top lash line, straight out, and then kind of go up from my outer corner, and I create like a little triangle actually, and then you fill that in with your liner. And it's because it's not just a matter, I don't think, of just, you know, doing your liner and then just doing one little flick. You can do it that way. It'll give you a different kind of look, but I love to really connect it in with my lower lash line. So I love doing that kind of like a triangle coming right off of my outer corner. And the reason why I mentioned that video, my latest Beauty Broadcast Express review, I do exactly that with one of these new Jordana liners. They're really easy to do that with. What does Tyler do for a living? He is an attorney. when we came down here, when I was back in the apartment, those days were his law school days. So he had school, it came down to Southern Illinois, 3 years of law school, and then got into that biz. I'm going to show my face of the day to you guys, since I've seen a couple questions about what I'm wearing. My primer today, I'm using this stuff. It's from Too Faced, and it's called Hangover RX Replenishing Face Primer. This is one of their new things. It has like a little pump. It's definitely not one of those primers that like really helps your makeup go on more smoothly. It's silicone free. It just doesn't have that slip to it that something like the Garnier Miracle or the Garnier 5-Second Blur has, or Mally Perfect Prep Primer. You know, those things that really Smashbox Photo Finish does not have that kind of feel at all. It feels to me like an additional moisturizer when I put it on. But I need to pay more attention to whether or not this has any effect on my staying power of my foundation. So far, I haven't really noticed much change whatsoever. But it says with coconut water, electrolytes, and probiotics. So I don't know. It's been okay. I've been wearing it lately. It's good, I think, especially if you've got like any dry, kind of dehydrated areas of your skin, because it does add a good amount of moisture to your skin when you put that on. So there's that. I used today my Estee Lauder. This is the fullest coverage stuff in the world. And some days, even if I don't really feel like I need it, I just enjoy the canvas, you know. It's the Estee Lauder Double Wear Maximum Coverage, face and body. Creamy tan is my color in this. Not as dark as it may sound, but my friend David sent this my way. It's got an SPF 15 in it, and it's just great. I can see why it's a face and body, because it spreads in a totally different way than normal double wear. If anybody's tried this, do you agree with me? It's like it has more of a slip to it. I can totally see it. Like if you wanted to put this on your legs, if you had something to cover up, like it really spreads nicely over a broad area and covers just even, I mean, it's the fullest coverage thing that I have. And I don't know, I like using it. I really like the just the evenness that it gives my skin. So I'm wearing that today. I dusted a little bit of the Maybelline Dream Wonder powder on top. Oh, I've got a little bit of my Double Wear concealer on too. Where did I put this? Around the nose. But really, you could go concealer free. It's that good. What else? I got my Hot Mama blush on. So this is like blush and highlight kind of in one. Gives you a little glow there. I've got on my lips this Rose Taffeta. Kind of needs a refresh. This is from L'Oreal. Were these called Caress? The name escaped me when I was talking in my tutorial today. It's kind of a neutrally pink. And I've got a little bit of this Perfect Spice lip liner on from Too Faced. On my eyes, I do have a little bit of a brightener in the waterline. That's my Rimmel Scandalize in Nude. Love it. I've got an eyeshadow base on. This Inked in Pink color tattoo. Great, great little partner to the Revealed 2 palette, which is what's all over my eyes. And I have a tutorial on this, so I won't spoil it too much, but I'll just say it's going to be, you know, a berry smoky eye. And I used several of the matte shades that I really like, and then a little pop of shimmer kind of on the inner part of the lid. So loving this palette, and got my I Love Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara. Sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. The lashes I've got on are these Allure textured ones that I showed in the haul. They're a lot like Ardell's and Salon Perfect Demi Wispies. See, very flared out at the ends. So, love those. Really thick, too. And on my brows, I've got my Too Faced Brow Envy finished off with my NYX Control Freak. Love the name of that, Control Freak eyebrow gel. And that's my face of the day. This has become the official face of the day basket. But if it keeps spitting out products on the floor like that, it's going to get fired. Woo. Do you dye your hair? This is my natural color. I have dyed it a time or two with like a semi-permanent, like Clairol Natural Instincts type thing, but it's been a long time since I've done that, and it's looking really dark here, I feel like, in this camera shot. But even when I did that, I kind of kept it around my natural color. I thought it was giving my hair more texture to do that, because my hair is very, very fine, and it did. It made it nicely manageable, but color-wise, yeah, this is just my natural color. Sorry, trying to get back to some comments that I may have missed. The L-shaped desk that I'm sitting at, that would be, oops, you can't really, this one that's like light wood and black. This did not come from IKEA. I've had this for a few years, and I got it from Staples. And I was looking in when I was putting the info on the room tour video. I'm having trouble finding the words right now. But when I was looking it up, I couldn't find it anymore on Staples' website. But I did notice they had a ton of other L-shaped desks. Like, they have a whole category for this type of desk, but they just didn't have this particular one. They had a neat one that was very similar to this, but like a glass top, which looked really nice. But I'm sure IKEA sells an L-shaped desk as well, but this has been great. I've loved having this, you know, surrounding me. Every time I do my makeup, my mascara weighs down my lashes and kills the curl. Oh, I feel your pain. I feel your pain, Grace. One thing you might look into is using a, like, I don't love using waterproof mascaras all the time because I think they are kind of a pain to remove, certain ones. But there were a couple that really, like, in general, waterproof mascaras don't mess with the curl as badly as other types of mascaras do. And I really like the CoverGirl Clump Crusher Water Resistant as something that's not a huge pain to remove, but yet it doesn't weigh down the curl as much, so that's a good one. And then I had another one in mind to tell you that I thought didn't do that as badly. Where is it? Can you tell my mascaras are right down here? Oh, CoverGirl's got a decent one, and I don't have it anymore. Okay, I tossed it out because it was getting kind of old, but they've got one that's called Washable Waterproof, and it's called Remarkable. It's one of their old school mascaras in like a purpley tube. That one's pretty good, and honestly, I don't have real bad luck with the Essence I Love Extreme Crazy Volume straightening out my curl, and I think it gets better with time. It gets a little drier, doesn't quite fight the curl as much or weigh it down as much, becomes a little less heavy with time, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I like that one too. But you might just see what kind of difference you notice if you go pick up a mascara you like, pick it up in the waterproof version, and see if it makes a difference for you. Ooh, CHR, first time watching. Emily Awards this year? Yes, but the end of the year. What do you use to edit your videos? I use iMovie, a program for Macintosh computers. Would you describe yourself as a city girl or a country girl? I would describe myself as a country girl. I grew up in a town of 1,200 people, and I'm not in much of an urban mecca now. You know, I've pretty much lived in small towns. Even when I went to college, I wasn't in a huge city, you know. So I think I'm just accustomed to small town life, and being in Illinois and growing up in Western Illinois. I mean, your town is pretty much surrounded by cornfields, and it's just a very rural environment. So I've always felt like going to, it really makes me feel that way, like a contrast in being a, you know, like I say, town mouse and country mouse, but it really stands out to me that I feel like I'm kind of a small town person. When you go to an IMAX in like LA and New York, and it's, you know, these are big cities, and I enjoy that. I love especially New York. I really like it. You know, I enjoy being there. I love, you know, the fast-paced atmosphere and everything, but it's really, you know, that's not really who I am. It's not really how I would define myself. I'm not really a city mouse. And there was another question on that. Where did it go? I lost it. Do you think Cupcake knows you're pregnant? I think she does. I really do. She loves to lay with me and be near my belly. It's funny. Like, if I'm laying on the couch, she wants to, like, lay right in here beside me. Even now, since we've moved, she started doing that again. It's so cute. She wants to be near the baby. Is that Too Faced Hangover Primer out yet? It's brand spanking new. Should be out. It should be out. Check Too Faced website. Too Faced Cosmetics. Is it toofaced.com or toofacedcosmetics.com? Because they've got stuff. Sometimes their initial releases are there. Like, I remember getting an email. I subscribed to just their update type emails, and I think it was in there. Extremely oily skin, and it's always hot in Puerto Rico. What foundation and or concealer would you recommend for oily skin? So you need some staying power, Hazel. Honestly, I'm a huge believer in the Estee Lauder Double Wear products, whether you want to go with the light version for a little lighter coverage and maybe a little lighter feel in that hot weather. I think you're going to be really impressed with how long it lasts, even being a lightweight product. And I think that's a good thing for oily skin too. Concealer-wise, I mean, I think your concealer plays off your foundation a lot. You know, if you've got that good foundation layer, I think having a concealer that's maybe a similar consistency. That Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer with the wand that I mentioned using earlier is a good one. From a lower price point, another really hardcore coverage concealer is the Hard Candy Glamouflage. Comes in a tube like this. You only need a tiny amount, and it works really well. So that might be something to look into for your coverage, you know, really extreme coverage. Yeah, Amanda, I know. I've mentioned watching that Eric and Jesse show, and Amanda pointed out that Jesse has a makeup tutorial. She has like a couple hair tutorials on her YouTube channel too. I thought that was cool. Sabita, sending love from Trinidad. Thank you. Sending love back. Courtney says, what's your favorite animal, or does Belle have a theme for her room yet? I guess not really a theme yet, but it's going to be kind of a lilac, a soft lilac color in there. But I like so many animals. I love kitties and bunnies. I'm such a girl. But seriously, I love bunny rabbits. Oh, that H Kitty loves the name Belle. That's what her 10-month-old baby girl's name is too. I love it too. I just really, I think it's such a sweet name. but I can picture it taking someone throughout their life. You know, there are a lot of really cute names, and then sometimes I would think of a cute name, and then I'd be like, but I can't picture that being an adult's name, you know? But I really like Belle. Elf. Okay, Rainbow Trees needs some Elf product recommendations. Is that a picture of you with Carrie Underwood? Or is that Taylor Swift and Carrie Underwood? I know it's Carrie Underwood for sure in your profile pic. If you're with Carrie Underwood, lucky duck. But she's never tried Elf. Only has a studio line at Target. Well, I do have an Elf favorites video that was fairly recent. Like I did it just shortly after Christmas time, and a lot of those same things apply. I talk about brushes I like and products I like. That video might be the most all-encompassing thing because I might forget to mention some things right here. But I really like, if you have Studio line, the Studio blushes are great. I love Blushing Rose. That one's just one of my favorites. Pink Passion is a bright matte pink. Don't be scared of it. It looks beautiful. It actually looks like a natural kind of sun-kissed look, actually. Like you may have been out in the sun and gotten a hint of sunburn on your face. It looks so natural. What else? Oh, they've got so many neat things. I like the lip exfoliator, which is like a little lipstick with a gritty texture in it, and it will exfoliate your lips. The e.l.f. Studio Eyebrow Kit is a great little eyebrow product, but I go on and on in my video. So I would say if you can go to my main channel and click the videos part, go back in time a little bit, that video might be really helpful to you. Are you and Tyler keeping up with the World Cup? We did actually. It was funny because we didn't purposely do this, but we ended up at Buffalo Wild Wings with my parents on Sunday, and that was when it was right around the time that USA was playing that big game, and it's like the place was going nuts, and it was really exciting. So that kind of got me into it. I'm really not that into soccer. I don't understand it very well. Like, it's just not one of the sports I'm really familiar with. So I can't say I went into the World Cup being super invested in it, but now kind of getting in on the excitement of that game, I'm kind of excited about it, and I think I'm going to have to turn it on here in an hour. I think that's when the U.S. versus Germany comes on. So I will have to watch. Oh, I'm sorry, it just went away, but somebody said spin around the makeup room. Yes, I saw a request to shoot this here so I could do spin around the makeup room again, because I didn't get to do that over in the Nook, right? So, yeah, let's do it again. I need a sip. Staying hydrated. Okay, this is really going to surprise me because I'll probably kind of forget where some things are, but this is where I spin around. If you're new to this, this is the official game show of Beauty Broadcast live. By the way, chipmunking. There's your chipmunk. But I spin around, I pull out 5 products, and I give you random, quick little reviews on whatever I pull out. So I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to spin. I'm not going to spin real quick because you guys know I'm sitting on a donut right now. You're going to get a sneak peek at where some things are on here, too. Let's go over here. 2. Let's see. 3. I'm trying to find the handle or the open space. I'll take that. That's 4. And then I'll go up above here to the top and take one of those. Okay. I've got 5 things. What do you know? They are all drugstore. Okay, I've got a Sonia Kashuk lip gloss in Magical Mulberry. This is fun, a fun fact. In one of the recent country music award shows, or one of just music award shows in general, the head girl from Lady Antebellum was wearing like Sonia Kashuk products, and this was the gloss she had on. So it's like a creamy, like medium berry colored gloss. Really pretty. I like the texture of these glosses. They're kind of thick, but they're really shiny, and they have pretty good staying power. But they're not annoying to me. So that's good. NYX Invincible Foundation. I have a review on this. This is a pretty full coverage foundation. I have it in the shade light medium. Might be a good full coverage option for someone who has a little bit more dry skin types. Has more of a dry skin type. Multiple skin types. Okay, I got the Hip Metallic Shadow Duo in Sculpted. Oh, this is a pretty one. This is purple, so you got a really deep plum and then a pretty, like, pinkish purple. Love. That's a great duo. Oh, I've got a lot of Hip duos still. They still sell them, right? But, I mean, I haven't bought them recently, but a lot of the ones I have I've had for a while. And then I've got my Avon Super Shock Gel Liner in Velvet Plum. This is a nice liner. Look at that pretty purple. Oh, it's so pretty. Love that shade. Yes, that was a good little reminder that I have that. And then I got the Back to Basics e.l.f. Smudge Pot. I reviewed these too. This is the goldeny one. These are so nice, you guys. They really last nicely for me on their own. And I've got several neutral kind of metallic shades, but there's the gold. So pretty. You know, wear it as a base, wear it on its own, picks up the light really nicely, and it will set. So you got some playtime to blend it out, but then it's going to set on you. So yay, that's my spin around the makeup room for today. Now I'm going to put these things back while I'm thinking of it, right? I remember where these things go. Foundations. I split up my foundations in a drawer by coverage level. And gloss through there. Good deal. XGNYC. Oh, she's tardy. Well, bring your tardy slip to the secretary's office, for crying out loud. No, it's okay. Thanks for coming in. Yes, this is live. This is live right now if you're watching at 10:12 a.m. Central Time. Yes, the Country Girl palette. We talked about that a little bit earlier. I've got the country and the rock and roll. Eek! Favorite liquid liner pen from the drugstore? As a matter of fact, I do have a favorite. Yes, Milani iTech Extreme. When I reviewed one from Tarte, Tarte has like a precision longwear eyeliner, I think it's called. It's like the exact same thing as this. So like half of my review was composed of comparing it to this Milani, which I think is great. Great pen style liner. That tip is flexible. It's long wearing. See, it's like, watch how that bends just slightly. Black is all get out. Love. Get you one. Milani knows how to do their eyeliners. I tell you what. Yes. Hi, Linda. Welcome. Have you tried the new Bare Minerals Ready 8.0 palette in the Nude Beach? No, I haven't. But you know I like to collect those. I've got my Ready 8.0 palettes right there. One's gold, one's rose gold, and one's silver. How about that? Can you tell I'm in love with this room? Goodness gracious. We've been very makeup focused today, you know? Sometimes we get off on different tangents on this. You can never really predict what any given beauty broadcast live is going to be about because it's all driven by the questions. Oh, it's Taylor Swift and Carrie Underwood in that picture where I was like, is that you and Carrie Underwood? Yeah, I can very distinctively tell that that was Carrie Underwood, but I couldn't tell if maybe that was. Nice. Oh, yeah. I really enjoy the Joyce Meyer book that I have, the Confident Woman devotional. My mom's read more. She's got. I'd have to ask her what one she might recommend specifically. I have on my iPad the devotionals for starting your day right and ending your day right. Those are Joyce Meyer ones, and those are nice too. But I think my mom has read the Battlefield of the Mind book and not sure what all others, but she's enjoyed them as well. We were thinking about, tossed around the idea of maybe going to see her in St. Louis sometime. Wouldn't that be fun? Hello from the UK. Hello, Sarah. I've not seen, well, I've seen the Too Faced Cat Eye palette, but I have not gotten my hands on that yet. I was thinking about buying it. The ones that Too Faced sent me were the country and the rock and roll, though. You taught me how to do my makeup, and now I am completely obsessed. Oh, well, yay. I say yay to that. Which one of the Balm blush colors would you recommend? I can only afford to get one and have the same skin tone as me. Well, I would say one of the really, overall, a really great one is Frat Boy. I think that's so, like, works with so many different looks you might do. But as far as something a little more unique, like a little more different formula-wise, the In-Stain blushes. They're even more long-wearing, I find, than the regular. And I think a shade that you might really like of those is, and this is another one that I think could work under a lot of different circumstances, but it's the one called Toile, T-O-I-L-E. Looks like this, and that's the color, and it's kind of, I would describe it as like a coral, really, like a true coral, and it's amazing how these really adhere to the skin. They're a powder, you know, but they've got fabulous staying power. You know, you swatch one on your hand, you can even rub across it. It's like, nope, that's sunken in now. You know, that's really stayed on there. And I can apply this pretty sheer and just get a gorgeous look every time. This really is good. If you're thinking, you know, our skin tone, that's the winner. That's the one I suggest. What kind of music do you like? I love country. I also love like 90s and 80s music. I'm thinking of the stations I have on Sirius XM in my car. I've got the hits one, like the current stuff, and I like the highway, and which is new country, and I like prime country, which is old country, and the 80s and 90s stations. I love those. What is my due date? September 17th. It has not changed. Some people talk about it changing throughout the pregnancy or getting adjusted, but it's stayed that way the whole time so far. Do you prefer Estee Lauder's concealer over the Bye Bye Under Eye from It Cosmetics, concerned with creasing? I do find the Bye Bye Under Eye to be more creasing prone. It's a very, very emollient concealer. It's got a lot of moisture in there. If you're dry, if you're especially dry in your under eye area, it could be a good thing. Just got to kind of learn to use it very sparingly. And it's got good coverage, but I always have to set it just because it's so, you know, it stays kind of tacky. And the thing I like about Estee Lauder's, and it reminds me a lot of MAC Pro Longwear, in the fact that I don't notice the creasing element as much, but very good coverage, and it's like a liquidy consistency, but it does set. You wouldn't necessarily feel the need to set the MAC Pro Longwear or the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer. And the one I'm talking about when I mention the Estee Lauder Concealer is the one in this tube with the doe foot applicator. Okay, I just saw it. Did it just vanish before my eyes? Okay, here it is. This one. And I wear warm light medium 08 in that. Oh my gosh, we watched a movie that absolutely freaked me out last night, and I couldn't sleep for like 2 hours. I did not sleep well last night. We watched a movie, I think it was called Prisoners. I had never, it's not a real old movie, it's like maybe a 2013 movie, but I hadn't heard of it. It's Hugh Jackman, it's, the name is escaping me. Dang it. Jake Gyllenhaal. And also Viola Davis is in it too, so some great actors are in it. But basically children getting abducted and this ongoing search to find them. And I won't spoil it for anybody, but it just, it had me like, what's going to happen? Like, I was so invested in this movie. And then, I don't know if any of you feel this way, but, like, do you have trouble winding down after something like that? Like, I felt like that had my adrenaline pumping. I was so invested in the movie. And then it ended, and it's like, Tyler's like, well, you ready to go to bed? And it was like, it was kind of late already. It was like almost 11, and I'm like, no, there's no way I can just fall asleep right now. I like turn on some Jimmy Kimmel, turn on something light, and then even then I wasn't that tired when I went to bed. And then, you know, I was trying to lay down and my tailbone hurt, and it's just, it was not a conducive situation to sleeping. Oh, hi, Jerry Mendoza. Greetings from Los Angeles, he says. Thank you. Unless you're a female Jerry, but a lot of those are spelled J-E-R-I, so. Review on the Jordana Lip Stain Twist and Shine. Sabata, it's on my blog, beautybroadcast.net. If you type in Twist and Shine in the search box, it should come up for you. Showed them all on my lips and stuff. Oh, wow. Can't find the new Maybelline The Nudes palette anywhere. When is it supposed to be out in stores? Mariah, it was supposed to release July officially. So if it's creeping out into stores now, it would be people who are kind of getting their hands on it early. You know how some of that stuff is? Like, I've always noticed that with Wet n Wild, too. They would say that certain collections of theirs were supposed to come out on a certain day, but they say that, you know, if a drugstore or whatever gets it early, they will sometimes just go ahead and put it out there. Oh, I'm sorry, Michaela. I missed the other times you asked. Are you subscribed to Ipsy or other monthly boxes? The only kind of regular subscription type thing that I have done is the QVC Beauty Test Tube, which I think I need to redo my auto delivery. That's one of those things. It's like you can order it every time type thing, or you can get on their auto delivery, which you could get on it auto delivery for a lot of their products, but it's not like a monthly thing. It's every couple months, every few months, and that's just, I have loved that because I feel like they give you big size products, not like full size necessarily. Some of the makeup is usually full size, but like if it's a Philosophy shower gel or something, like it's a good size, and I've discovered so many things that I love through that. The Philosophy Inner Grace, I love that scent, and I would have never probably thought about it too much unless I would have gotten it in the test tube. So I love that. I love the Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta Glow Pads, which are like a little self-tanning towelette for your face. Those are great. And then like when they give you a makeup product like an eyeliner or a lip gloss, they tend to be full size. And I just think it's the best value. And plus you get a new beauty issue of New Beauty magazine. And so that's been the one I've done. I can't speak about the other things because I haven't tried those. Have you tried the Smashbox Full Exposure palette? No, but I swatched it in the store and was pretty disappointed by the way it felt, the way the textures were. I thought it was so different feeling from like the Smashbox Wonder Vision palette that I had at that point in time when I was thinking about full exposure. I already had the Wonder Vision Mega palette, with all the colors and stuff, and that has that buttery smooth amazing texture. And in comparison, I thought full exposure, what the heck, I would have totally gotten it if it felt like the other one, but it seemed the shadows seemed drier, less pigmented. Oh, most and least favorite things about being pregnant. Well, I talked about the most favorite earlier a little bit. I mentioned, like, I really like the thought that I like keeping up with the little updates of what's going on in there with the apps and stuff. Like, your baby is the size of an eggplant now, and now she can hear you, and blah, blah, blah. Like, all those little things. I love the progression. I love the evolution of someone, you know, someone who is developing and growing. I like that kind of thing. And then the thing that I like how Tyler has responded to pregnancy too. I think he's been very sweet about everything. But the thing I like the least is probably just the adjustment in clothing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've discovered some really friggin' comfortable pregnancy clothes, like the leggings that are coming up to just under my bra right now and covering my whole bump. I mean, that stuff's great and all, but just different tops and stuff that I feel like, oh, I'd love to wear that, but you know, it wouldn't come down long enough, or this and that. Like, I don't know, the wardrobe changes are kind of a pain. No deep thoughts today? Well, what do you want to ask me about that's deep? No deep questions today. I'm kidding. The makeup chats are important. We had some kind of deep chatting on starting a YouTube channel, maybe. Maybe that was deep. Maybe it wasn't. Some people have seen that Maybelline Nudes palette at Bed Bath & Beyond and Walmart, I've seen on here. Was wondering if you could do a tutorial using the Urban Decay Electric palette. There's a palette I don't have. What's the consensus? Get the electric palette or don't get it? What do you guys think? I would love to hear your take. The Everyday Life Bible is awesome. Yes, that's the Bible the Joyce Meyer Bible I have. See, I need the explanations. You know? I need I need those little, like, boxes that are highlighted and say, you know, this is how this applies to life. That's what I really like. That makes it all sink in for me. Makes it more I don't know, applicable, memorable. Stuff like that sticks in my head more. Is the baby room already finished? No. Far from it, but it is painted. And are you nervous to be a mom? Yeah, I think I am. Well, it's a nervous kind of excitement. It's probably no different than what any other soon-to-be mom has felt, but you're kind of wondering, like, will I be good at this? Will I be able to handle all this? You know, like, there's those kinds of apprehensions that you just can't know until you're knee-deep in it. But with a lot of things, you know what philosophy really helps me out is the one day at a time thing. For example, I will see some news story about this teenager that's gone crazy and has, you know, caused all these ruckus in the school, or has prompted a school shooting, or all these, like, really serious, horrible things, and I'm thinking, there's no way I'm ready to have a teenager. And then I have to remind myself, they don't turn into a teenager for a while. You know, like, one day at a time. Like, let that child slowly grow and develop, enjoy every single day. And my philosophy that I continue to keep on top of my makeup mirror is be present. You know, live in the moment. Don't get so ahead of yourself. Enjoy the moment you are in at the present time. You know, sometimes it's not even just taking one day at a time, but it's like 1 hour at a time. And when you think of life that way more, aren't you thinking more You're taking worry and anticipation out of the equation. And I have to work on that because I myself am an anticipatory kind of person, you know. I see like, oh my gosh, I've got such a busy week coming up. I've got this appointment, and then I got to meet with this person, and then I got to get these different things done. And especially with the house type stuff, like there was a lot of extra on my plate. And knowing that and seeing that ahead of me, like I can have something dumped in my lap at any given time, and you know, like it was like kind of with breaking news at the TV station. If I had to go run out and do something, or if I had like a new task kind of just dropped in my lap at that moment, I could do it, you know, pick it up and do it, no problem. You know, I can be flexible. But if I had something like knowing that I had this big thing coming up, I would anticipate it and tend to worry about it and kind of dwell on it and let my imagination, I'm a very imaginative person, and just kind of let my imagination run away with it and let myself get kind of worried or worked up or anxious about it. So I think you've got to do whenever you got to catch yourself, if you're that kind of person, you've got to exert, you know, use some mind control with yourself and say, hey, that's not now, you know, that's not happening now. Cross that bridge when we come to it. Worry about what you're doing right in the moment, which is what you can actually control, right? Is what you're doing right now. Enjoy it. Appreciate it. Be happy for the moment. You don't know how many more moments, how long things are going to go on, but if you're living each current moment to the fullest, I think that's what we were put here to do, right? And what does Emily say after any deep thoughts? I hope that made sense. Made sense to me as I was saying it. May not have made sense to anybody else. What's on my lips? It's that L'Oreal. Once again, I didn't see any response to that, but I think they're called Caress in the Rose Taffeta shade. I've got kind of a berry smoky eye, and I didn't want anything too pink on my lips. So I'd call this a pink that's not too pink. Are you planning to breastfeed? Yes. Yep. What time is it for you? It is 10:32 Central Time. Okay, I'm seeing some people saying yes to the electric palette. Oh, Kristen Mann saw Prisoner. She thought it was so scary. Yeah. I mean, weren't you stressed watching that? Good night. Oh, thank you, Sandra King. It's nice of you to say. Jolene, how are you going to combine YouTube with being a mommy? Well, I'm gonna do just that. I'm going to combine them. I do feel I'm in a very flexible place with YouTube. You know, not being at the station anymore, I've realized just how much flexibility I have. I mean, when you go from a very structured work environment to some full out doing something like this, you feel a great deal of flexibility. So I can, you know, shoot things at different times. I can work around stuff. I don't have a problem with that either. So I really want to be a very hands-on mom and just be part of everything that's happening, and at the same time carry off videos when I, you know, and I don't intend to scale back on that because I truly love it. And I know people will give you the little, like, you know, oh, well, priorities change and you're going to start to feel differently about YouTube once you have a baby. And I feel like, where do you get off telling me how my priorities are going to change? Are you in my head? I'm not saying this to any of you people, but like just like little things that people in real life conversation can kind of throw out to you. And I think, you know, you're not me. That's what I wanted to say. But I'd be like, oh yeah, well I love what I do. And I've seen plenty of other people love what they do and be a mom, and guess what? They still love what they do. But you've got, I mean, I feel like I've got room in my heart for loving and absolutely prioritizing a little person, you know, as well as continuing this. I think it balances me, you know. I always felt like YouTube balanced me when I was in the news. I was dealing with some, you know, absolutely traumatic news stories, and then I would come home and talk about makeup, and it balanced me out. So I appreciate the role that YouTube has played in my life so much, because I feel like, you know, maybe I'm being of use to people who watch in various ways, maybe through the practical, like here's a good makeup product standpoint, but also in a form of companionship. But at the same time, I'm like, this is going to sound so cheesy. I'm just predicting that it's going to come out that I don't even know what I'm going to say, but it's like it's feeding my soul, you know, like it's giving me back so much too, as far as just feeling so invested in something. It feels good to be part of something that you are so fully invested in. You know, if any of you are in a job that you're like so all about it, you know, it makes you who you are. It kind of like, you know, has given a whole richness to your life. Then that's what I feel like with this stuff. And that's the kind of thing that's so, you know, I can ramble on about it here on YouTube, and I know there are people who will never, people in everyday life who maybe saw that I left the news and don't have any understanding, like, no offense if there's any elderly people watching here, but a lot of the elderly people that I will run into, like when I'm grocery shopping, have no comprehension of what I'm doing here with the YouTube thing. And I think they just kind of have the thought of why would you leave the news, you know, kind of thing, and what is it you do, you know? And so it's hard to explain what a blessing this has been to me, but it's been a massive blessing in my life. Mm. Yeah, it got deep there. Does your mom make YouTube videos? I love her. Oh, well, Tammy, she'll appreciate that you said that, because she does watch these after the fact. She's with her pal Francine on Thursday mornings, but she does watch these, so I'm sure she'll appreciate that you said that. But she appears in some of my videos here and there. She was actually here just this past weekend. We could have done some videos, but we were just kind of working, trying to get stuff done. She helped me plant. I keep burping. She helped me plant a bunch of flowers. By helped me, I mean she basically did it, which is fine by me. She planted some flowers in the back, and we got some hanging baskets. We like basically prettied up the outside with a lot of flowers, and she helped me with some arrangements here in the house. So maybe like the next time she's down, now that that work's done, it would be fun to like follow her around and have her show like some of the things we did and some of the reasons why we chose these different plants for these different areas. That's what would be one of the most recent things that we've done. I think people say your priorities will change because we've seen it before on YouTube. Yeah, I guess when I was talking about that, I was talking about people not really YouTube related talking to me in that way, but priorities can change, you know, it's okay. And my priority, obviously, going from not having a baby to having a baby, yes, priorities will change. But I think you can still maintain other things in your life that you love. Um, I'm sorry, I've lost I've lost track of some comments here. Were there ever times when you cried live on the news? Yes. Yeah. Some might say you're not supposed to do that. But, I mean, I've definitely completely teared up over stories that just, you guys know, there's some heavy stuff in the news. Some very sad things that happen. I mean, I kind of felt bad when I remember it was a story that aired, and I came back on camera, like, you know, it was a package, it was a reporter's story. And I came back on camera, and my eyes were completely welled up with tears, and I was, like, sniffling. And I felt like, oh, gosh, this is bad, you know, but then it's kind of like, well, you know, news anchors are human beings, too. And I think a lot of news anchors try to turn themselves into some kind of robot person, but I really like watching the news anchors who seem to actually give a crap about what they're talking about as opposed to just reading it off the teleprompter. So I think it's okay to have a human reaction to things. Some organization videos about how to prioritize in college. Also, were you in a sorority in college? Tips for, fashion ideas for going through recruitment. Oh, wow. Lakin, you just asked a bunch of good questions. Those are some good points. I don't think I've talked about those things really specifically. Yeah, if anybody's interested in sorority type advice, like my experience with it, I would be happy to share something like that in a vlog, like kind of college info, college advice. Oh, I remember that. Oh, the rush parties. Yeah. Oh, that's a good thing. I could maybe wrangle up some tips. Are you going to keep Belle off of YouTube, or are you going to do videos of her? Totally understand your choice. Love ya. Oh, well, love you too, Molly May. Well, I've thought about it quite a bit, and as it stands right now, I don't really want to try to like keep her away from what I'm doing here, or like I guess here's my thought. You guys know I'm going to be having a baby. It's kind of out there. It's like, who am I trying to kid by, I don't know, carrying off everything by not showing her ever? Or I'm not saying I'm going to center my YouTube around her or try to, you know, thrust her into everything I'm doing, but I think I wouldn't mind, like, showing that, you know, here's part of me, here's a big part of my life right now, just like makeup is, just like Tyler is, and this and that, and so I wouldn't mind that. And I feel, honestly, I feel so close to you guys. I don't know that makes sense, and when there are a lot of people watching your videos, maybe you think that's hard for someone to feel, but especially like the people who would take the time to tune into like beauty broadcasts live once a week. No, I feel very close to you, and I would almost feel like, I don't know, off about not sharing part of my life with you that way. Because I feel like I've been my whole philosophy on YouTube has been to just be real and just be myself, and I feel like I would be making a purposeful deviation from that to just completely, you know, not do anything baby related. You know? That's the logic in my mind right now. Not saying that couldn't change, but that's kind of like the way I see it. Recommend any Benefit Cosmetics kits? They have, gosh, they've got a lot of different little things. I haven't quite checked what things are available currently, because so much of that stuff is like limited edition, and it's in and it's out. They had a neat thing that I saw. I think I saw it on Ulta's website. It's a bunch of like kind of small-sized things. And what was the name of it? I don't know. It must have been like a dozen different mini-sized products. Like I think some of their stains were in there. Some of their boxed powders, but in a smaller size, were in there. And I think that's a cool way, like if you haven't tried a lot of Benefit too, to get your hands on some, but not pay the full price tag. Like one of the full-size stains is going to be like nearly $30 or so, or maybe more. And so those little kits, I think, are a great way to try it. So. When my history teacher was pregnant a few years ago, she could not stop burping either. I think talking has something to do with it, too. Because when I'm just sitting around here, I'm not burping near as much as when I'm, like, drinking and talking. Oh, Amsky, you're so nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sending the love right back to you. How did I know Tyler was the one? When I really stopped and thought about it and realized I cannot imagine my life without this person in it. Like, coming to that realization, like, this person is so invested in my life. Like, he's so my best friend. Like I couldn't see losing him on a boyfriend level, but I also couldn't see losing him on a friend level as well. When that's all working, and it's like I can't imagine being without Bub, you know, like. And we had dated since high school, and you know, I got into college, and it was. You know, he proposed in the last semester of our senior year, or actually not the last semester. It was right the tail end of football season. And I mean, I think we both knew well before that time that, you know, this is just the person I click with. You know, so grateful that he's in my life, because he has just balanced me out. I'm gonna cry. It's getting emotional, folks. I need to find a funny question. What's the best under-eye concealer that doesn't crease? Okay. Best under-eye concealer that doesn't crease. Well, I think from the non-creasing, you know, it's not too sticky, not too moisturizing. I like MAC Pro Longwear and the Estee Lauder Double Wear, both pretty good options. I think the Estee Lauder Double Wear might just have a little something on the coverage of this. And maybe it's just because I've got a lighter shade in this. This one's a little deeper, but I really, really have been enjoying this for great coverage. I remember telling my friend David, I was like, you know, that thing can really cover anything. Sorry. Will you ever go back to being a news anchor or reporter? My mom and I were discussing this the other day, and I was like, I don't think I'd ever go back to just reading the news or, you know, being a news reporter again. If any opportunity presented itself, it would have to be in kind of maybe a host type mode, or something that was much less, what's the word I'm looking for? Less structured, you know. I've gotten so used to now not being scripted. I do not want to be scripted again, you know. So that was, it was nice during the time that I was doing it, but especially toward the end of my news anchoring, you kind of stop and realize, okay, what part of this do I really like the most? And I loved interviewing. I loved any time when I was not on a script, and so I cannot be tamed. I cannot be scripted. So I like just the off the cuff aspect. So it would have to be something like that. How did you get through the first trimester without overanalyzing every little thing and being optimistic that everything will turn out fine? Oh, and isn't it so easy to do that, Stephanie? Because that's the blessing and the curse of having so much information, you know, like in the apps, and it's like, oh, right now your baby is developing lungs and like, you know, stuff like this, and it makes you think like, oh my gosh, I don't want to screw this up. I don't want to, am I sitting in a way that is, you know, hurt? Am I too scrunched up right now? Is that hurting the baby? Like, there are a zillion directions your mind can go with worries. So I think what helped me was just to think about like my mom or other people in my life who were going through the same thing, and just knowing that, you know, this can be done. This can work out. And, you know, if I did have apprehensions, like I would pass something by mom, or I would just have, you know, I think kind of bring it up and then always be reassured of how normal something is, you know. And I think a lot of things, if you've worried about it, somebody else is worried about it too. Probably 1,000 people have also worried about it. So, and also always thinking about like the pioneer days, and that there were times when people had so much less technology to work with and so much less information. And granted, there were probably a lot of messed up childbirths happening too, but for the most part, I mean, this is something that our bodies are designed to do, and it can be done. And just, you know, having faith in the process, and just praying about it, and just, you know, you control what you can control, and you leave the rest. And trying to enjoy it, and trying not to, I don't want to look back on my pregnancy and think, man, I just was a ball of worry the whole time. I want to think, you know, I enjoyed that time. I made the most of that time, because you'll never get that back, really, you know. I mean, you might be pregnant again with other children, but for this child, this is the one time when you're living this moment, this pregnancy. Isabel, thank you. You're so nice. When you were younger, did you have any interest in makeup, such as middle school or high school? Yeah, I really started to get into my makeup interest in high school. And it was like when we'd go to Walmart or we'd be at a drugstore, I remember Mom allowing me to pick up some things, like before I had my job, you know, where I was working at the YMCA. You know, it was her kind of allowing me to explore and get a few things here and there. And I remember back then never wanting to go back and get the same thing twice. You know, like if I used up a mascara, I didn't want to go back and get that same mascara again. I wanted to try and see what something else did. And so at that time, there was like a little bug getting in me, loving the trial and error of drugstore makeup and seeing what worked, what didn't, and why. So I really liked it then, and I remember even my senior year of high school, like we did our cheerleading squad just for the hell of it. At the end of the season, we entered a dance team competition because we loved, like, dancing was like our strength, and so 5 of us entered this dance team competition. We won. 5, squad of 5. We were against like 20 and 25 person teams, and we nailed it, killed it. I loved it. But I did the makeup for that. We did like some kind of bold, like purple and gold, you know, awesomeness on the eyes, and I remember doing the girls' makeup and just enjoying that experience so much. But that, bottom line, yeah, I really liked makeup in high school, and then it just grew throughout college. And now here we are. Tanya just got the internet hooked up at her new place. An hour late, but still here. Yay! I know what that feels like. Waiting for the internet. Will somebody hook up my internet? Ooh. Have you ever heard of Pinckneyville? Oh, Gracie. Yeah. I am probably 35 minutes away from you. I've done stories up there when I was on the news, and yeah, when I go back home, we end up going through there. Pygmyville Panthers. Yep. You got a Dairy Queen in town? Did your doctor say if hip dysplasia will be an issue with natural delivery? No. It should not be an issue. I've got pretty much full kind of mobility of the joint, I guess. So, yep, they checked. That was one of the first things that they checked. I think my first appointment with the doctor. Well, what they really are, the main thing they're checking is what is that called? They're making sure that you have enough width in your region to get the baby out. So they do a measurement there, and that came out okay, I guess. How'd you and Tyler meet? We met in high school when his family moved to the area his sophomore year, before his sophomore year. And I really probably first got very well acquainted with his sister, Sarah, before really getting to know him, because we cheered together. And so then I just kind of got into that circle of friends, and we were doing a lot of the same, like hanging out with a lot of the same people and stuff, and like groups going to movies, you know, like there was everybody was into like doing things in groups when I was in high school. Like a big group goes to a movie, a big group does this or that, and so it was like we were always in the same group, you know. Are you ever scared of privacy issues with YouTube? Downfalls of YouTube as your full-time job? I guess I've been doing this long enough to kind of realize that I don't think it's a big concern, like a big problem. Obviously, I'm not going to get out and like be like, "Hey, everybody, here is my new home address." But I've kind of come to realize that privacy is there's going to be a different comfort level person to person, right? Some people are just by nature really private people, so it's going to be kind of troubling to get on YouTube and answer personal questions. For me, I've been kind of accustomed to being a pretty open book type of person. I'll pretty much answer anything that anybody wants to talk about. Like, that's just where my comfort level lies. So being that way and having that natural feeling about things, being on YouTube and talking about personal stuff doesn't really bother me. But goodness gracious, it's almost 11. Nobody told me. The soccer game's probably going to start soon, so I should probably let you guys go. Plus, I've got some editing to do. But thank you guys so much. Yeah, the game is on, says Kelly. Okay, I'm sorry I took up an extra freaking half hour on here, but thank you for watching, and thank you for great questions and fun questions and deep questions and all that stuff. You guys are so fun to interact with. I love how so many of you are back every week, and every week there seems to be more new people coming on. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. Seriously, you make my day with the feedback you give me and just the encouragement. It's so valued. It really, really is. So thank you, and have a great rest of your week. Have a safe weekend if you're traveling or vacationing or whatever. Don't text and drive. I see somebody text and drive every time I'm on the road, and I want to like yell out my window. So anyway, that's it. Bye, guys. See ya.